A well-known online news publication reports that evidence in the Kimberly De Leon and Shakadan Daniel cases is not missing, but rather stored in a facility in the south, contradicting Police Commissioner Vanguard's statements.
Dear, my wonderful friends, it's me again, the great, one more great countryman. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Now, I want to say big shout out to all the subscribers, all the fans. Also, big shout out to all the haters, because if it's not the haters, this wouldn't be possible. Now, music boss, because I have a boss for my work with, you know, and I call it music boss. May I say this before I start talk about the different things I want to talk about. Music boss, stop the fuckery and give me a link. And that me I tell you, you are genius. Music boss, you don't know we love you, you know, and you make everything possible. So give me a link, dog. Give Countryman a link. With that said, let's talk about what the news personnel just reported, that some well-known news entity in St. Lucia said that the missing evidence in the cases of Takadan and the young lady is in a hidden vault somewhere in St. Lucia. Now, this is what you call deep state. I hope people are listening to me now. This is what you call deep state. Now, the Prime Minister make a speech, and I'm gonna play it regarding to what the news reporter said. But I'm also gonna update some cases, and I'm gonna talk about Starboy and a couple other little things. So check this out. Let's go.
It's Countryman again. Just I lick you with some wisdom, and I lick you with some knowledge. You gotta take inside your brain. It says, son, I've learned a lot out of reading people faces. No matter how them are going, like them original, them fake. You gotta know when to walk and know when to run and know when to fall and know when to stand.
Before I continue, I need viewers and subscribers' help. Now, I am tinkering with starting a record, publishing a record label, and start distributing music for new and upcoming artists. I have a couple artists underneath my roster, but my question to you all is, do you think Countryman should start a record label and do music alongside the channel? Let me know what you think. Or look at it like this. Do you think Countryman should go into the music business? Please leave your answers in the comment and let me know what you think if you want Countryman to jump into the music business. And from what the response I get from you guys, I'm gonna use that to make my decision. Let's go.
I've not spoken to the Commissioner of Police on that matter, but you must recall, I've made that point several times. There is a separation of powers. There is the executive, there is the judiciary, and there is the parliament. Three separate powers. Any issues as it relates to these kind of things, the Director of Public Prosecutions is the one who's normally contacted. I'm not.
No, the problem this Prime Minister have, he keeps on talking about an incompetent Director of Public Prosecution. Now, why I said that? if you look in the courts and the prison system, there is a big backlog of cases, and a lot of these cases have insufficient evidence. And this man has sat in office and violates everybody's rights that's in the prison and in the system as far as I'm concerned. So this director of public prosecution or whatever he is very incompetent. The Prime Minister needs to stop saying that, and he needs to step up and deal with certain things hands-on. Now, this man have 3 years leave in office and he's gonna ride out his time. I feel like he should be under review, and every case that he puts his hand on should be reviewed, because, now listen to this, Arkham Barbados have 3,000 inmates or prisoners. At least 1,800 of them is on murder case, and a lot of those murder cases have insufficient evidence. Look at that staggering facts. Now, not only that, evidence have been disappeared and missing from the Sakadan and the young lady, amongst other things, and the Prime Minister think he is gonna do a press conference and say that, yo, he's gonna relate stuff to the Director of Public Prosecution. That is total madness.
A few weeks running into the elections, I am instructed that police officers were at work when windows began dismantling, air conditions were taken, wires were pulled off, and it was only then they got a call from the commissioner that you vacate immediately. And so, Mr. Speaker, they were all going like mad fowls because there were prisoners in custody. The first thing was to secure the prisoners. And I could tell you, the exhibit room was in that building, Mr. Speaker. So when they talk about evidence disappearing, Mr. Speaker, ask the leader of the opposition, ask the then commissioner, where were those exhibits kept?
You guys just listen to what Frogface said that happened to the file. They were destroyed in a building, I guess, that the police them abandoned. But remember when I first started this video, I talked about deep state, where you have a nefarious news organization came out and said that the files were found somewhere in the south in Beaufort. So this is really sort of how deep state operates, where they put out nefarious information. With that said, I'm gonna move on. Look at that picture right there. That is Dirty Dianna. She has left St. Lucia and took off to the United States. As you know, I did the video explaining that they shut up her house about 2 weeks ago, and she was also working at the Arkham Barbados facility, and she told the police that Starboy, who is from Dinnery in the same area, was the one who did it, but she don't know why. Now, isn't that really whacked out? Somebody shoot up your house, but you don't know why. Long story short, she was spotted with about $15,000-$20,000 on the Sunday before they shoot up her house. And she told people that it was her aunt who gave her the 20 grand. And nobody believed her. And Monday the house was shut up. And then 2 weeks later she quit the job and she ran to the US saying her life is in danger. And that's the update on that. Now with that said, let's move on because we want to talk about Starboy again. Now, look at the picture right there. You have 3 guys and they got killed in the week of like 5 to 10 people get murdered in 2 weeks. And these guys got caught up in that. Now, this guy particularly, the one in the middle, that's the one I want to talk about. This man right here, his name is Scrappy. And he was murdered a couple weeks ago. And my intel told me that Starboy was behind this. Now, Scrappy was down with Starboy them, and what he was doing, he was going over to the ops them. So a message was sent to Scrappy, and Scrappy ignored the message, and the message told him to stop hang out with certain man. And Scrappy didn't adhere to what the boss said, which is Starboy, and 2 days later him get knocked. I have the message. Recently I did a video on the famous 4 right here. We have the Coolie Dread, Wash Green, Princess Swanee, and Jarvis. Everybody know Jarvis say, yo, him living at the Migla Gas Feast, the Bomber Clark. Now, my intel has updated me and tell me that the Coolie Dread, them slap him away a couple days ago. And it was also told to me that the people them behind the dashway of the Coolie Dread is Scarecrow and Teletubby, Kent and Leanback. Now, when Kent them get shut up and certain things go on to the 6th, this picture you see right here, the man them was celebrating and they were talking about it and them link up, and Swanee has always held the position that the 6th is the most powerful thing in St. Lucia. Now, after I put out the video, then the Coolie Dread gets slapped away. But people can say all they want to say. When the Coolie Dread came out and on a video conference call on the World Wide Web, he was pretty much telling the whole world. And they were telling the whole world, so people can't blame me for putting out information that was already out here in the public domain. What I do, I just organize it and I solve the riddle. With that said, I'm about to close this video, but going back to the beginning, when we talk about the Prime Minister just taking a real irresponsible approach by just allowing everything up to Green Goblin. We know that's kind of irresponsible because we see how Green Goblin system is. No case gets solved. There's so much young men and women in prison who don't have any evidence and they're just locked away. With that said, I hope them can deal with the crime situation, and we know an election coming, so let's see what's gonna happen. Anyways, more video coming, and listen. My name is Countryman.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.